Hi, my name is Nathan. You're watching Nice at Dice, and today I'm going to be showing you a organizer system for this game, Specter Ops. Now, this is not going to be a review really, because it's my product. It's something that I designed. You can buy it on my Etsy store. So I'm just going to be kind of showing you how this organizer works, the ins and outs of it, and just giving you an overview of this product. This is an organizer that fits inside the box for either Specter Ops or its standalone sequel, Broken Covenant, and it will hold all of the content for Specter Ops, the original game, Broken Covenant, the sequel, and then also the Arctic Archives expansion for either game. So it'll hold all of that in one box, but it's also designed in a nice way that if you only have one of those games, you can still use this organizer. And it'll still work nicely. So I'm going to take you over to the desk here and show you how it works. And then we'll come back up here and I'll just give you some closing thoughts. Okay, so this is what you're going to see if you have everything for the game in the box once you take the lid off. This obviously won't fit the board that comes with the Arctic Archives expansion because that board is just too long to fit into the box, but it'll hold everything else. So we've got some rule books on top. All right, we have over here, just a little tray that holds all 4 dice, right? If you have both games, you'll have 4 dice. Holds all 4. It's got a little lid that slides on. If you orient, the lid slides off like that. So if you orient it towards the edge of the box, then the lid won't, slide open while you're moving this around or in transport or whatever. It keeps everything nice and secure. The timer will just fit in there, right? In between the dice and this other tray here, which is what I'm about to show you now. So you've got this other tray here. Again, it has a slide lid. When you take that off, you can see you've got all the tokens in here that both players, both the hunters and the agents would use. All right, so you've got all of that here, including a slot for the door tokens that come with the Arctic Archives expansion. Now it can be a little tricky to pull stuff out of here. Some things come out pretty easily, like these tokens here. But the nice thing about the slide lid is basically if you want, just these tokens, you can, pull the lid back so that it's covering everything else, and then you just dump out the stuff you need, right? So it's a nice way to keep everything in a small, compact thing and still be able to get out what you need to get out. All right, then we have basically everything for the hunters here and here, and everything for the agent here and here. So let's take a look at the hunters first. So first you have this tray, which has, again, a slide lid. You pull that lid off, and there's kind of an indentation that will hold your vehicle card pretty steady in there, right? But that just pulls out easy. This is just an empty space. You don't need it for the hunters. Just to explain, this tray right here is used for both the hunters and the agents. So you don't have to worry about grabbing the right tray for the right faction. It's the same for both, but it just results in some empty space on the hunter side. And then you have the cards here, which are used when you're playing with more players, the higher player counts, and you'll have a secret agent among the hunters. All right, so you've got those cards there. There's enough space here for these cards to be sleeved, no problem. Then we've got 2 small trays that fit inside this tray. We've got this one here, which has the token representations for all the characters, which you don't generally use, but there's storage for that. And then we have this little tray that can come out and sit on the table, and it's got some tokens that are only really used by the hunters. So you've got their vehicle token and the cameras that one of the characters uses. So you've got that. And then over here, you've got all of the character cards for the hunters. All right, so you got all that. And it will pack away nice and easy. And it's got this little groove that it sits in. All right, good to go with that. And over here, we have the actual figures for the hunters. All right, So each figure will have their own little slot that they fit into. All right. These slots are not specific to each figure, so you can kind of arrange them how you like, although you will find the figures from the original game have slightly narrower bases than the figures from Broken Covenant. So you will find that certain figures fit better into certain slots because of the base, right? So the bases, the ones that have the thinner bases won't fit as well into certain slots. They'll tend to fall out. So you have to play around with it a little bit in that regard, figuring out, you know, which ones fit best into which slots. But it's not, there's not a specific uniform layout that you have to follow. All right, so you've got that. Then for the agents, we have, again, the same tray with the slide out lid. You've got, again, here's the tokens for the different characters. And then we have tokens that are specific to some of the equipment and gear or whatnot that the agents can use. All right, so again, this is nice. You can pull this out and keep it handy at the table. We've got the character cards right there. And we've got the various equipment cards, etc. for the agent. And again, there's room here. You can sleeve those cards if you like to sleeve cards. All right. Got all that. And then, finally, we've got another tray here to hold all the figures for the agents. All right, so you've got all that. Then in here you've got, you know, just the pads that come with the game for the agent to use. And I've got here all 3 pads from the original game, Broken Covenant, and the Arctic Archives expansion. All 3 of them will fit in there just fine. And then you have the 2 boards from Arctic Archives, I'm sorry, not Arctic Archives, from Broken Covenant and from the original. Last thing I want to show you is, like I said, let's say you only have one game, either Specter Ops or Broken Covenant. You can still store everything from one game in here very nicely. I'm just going to load it up to show you how that works. As you saw with everything in here, everything fits pretty much flush with the top of the box. So if you do not have everything, it's going to work a little bit differently. You're going to put everything in here like so. So I've got one board and one paper pad in there. And we're going to put everything else in here. Alright, rulebook's on top. And you can see, if I put it at a bit of an angle here, that now there's a gap, right, between the top of everything and where the lid would sit. Okay, but because everything has lids on it, right, like here, and then of course, you know, the big trays, again, they have lids on it. Even so, nothing's going to get lost, nothing's going to get mixed up, thrown around, or whatever as you move the box around, even if you flip it upside down or whatever, right? The trays themselves will move, they'll shift a little bit, but everything will stay in place. So it's it'll accommodate, you know, one game just fine, but again, if you have both games and the expansion, you can put everything in here and it all fits nice. So that is my organizer for Specter Ops, the board game. Again, it can hold the base game, or I should say the original game, Broken Covenant, Arctic Archives. It can fit all of that in here and keep it nice and organized. You can buy this on Etsy, on my Etsy shop. There'll be a link in the description here if you'd like to go check that out. If you're not familiar with the game Specter Ops, but looking through all this has caught your interest, I've also done a review for Specter Ops and its expansion, Arctic Archives. So I'll put links to those videos in the description here as well. Again, my name is Nathan. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Nice at Dice, and you enjoy the rest of your day.